Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and welcome to the Game Exposed podcast. If you guys have a brief question on a narcissist and you want to submit it and have your question answered on the podcast, submit a brief question, you guys, no more than a paragraph because it won't be read. Text your questions to 917-636-1109 and text me your questions, and I'll try to get to as many questions as I can and answer them on the podcast, but please make it brief, no more than a paragraph, okay? 917-636-1109. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and today I'm going to continue with the podcast series about everything you need to know about the covert narcissist, all right? I've laid down a lot of characteristics and toxic behaviors of the covert narcissist in my last two podcasts, part 1 and 2, and I'm going to continue so that you could understand more about how the covert narcissist operates, okay? Another thing that you need to know when you're dealing with a covert narcissist is, number one, you guys, they're guarded people, okay? They have a wall up. You will never, ever fully connect with a covert narcissist. Why? Because they don't trust, all right? So this is why they don't open up. They're afraid to be vulnerable. A covert narcissist is basically your basic coward, okay? They're a coward, but they portray, that they're better than you. They have an air of, dismissiveness. They love to dismiss. When you think covert narcissist, just think passive aggressive and dismissive, okay? They don't want to acknowledge you, okay? The other way you're going to know that you're dealing with a covert narcissist is that they ghost you when you need them. Covert narcissists make tons and tons of promises. They'll promise to see you. They'll promise to go on vacation. They'll promise to be there for you. But when the going gets tough, the covert narcissist gets going. And they'll ghost you, and then they'll come back and they'll make an excuse. Nobody has more excuses than a covert narcissist for not doing anything. They love to say they were sleeping. They love to say they were sick. They love to say they had to run to their mother's house or something like that. They love to use their children as an excuse not to see you when in fact they could be seeing their other supply. So they always have excuses. So when you're dealing with somebody like a covert narcissist, maybe you're dating them or you're in a relationship with them and you find that, this person is just never available. That covert narcissist could be breadcrumbing you and just keeping you around as a backup supply. And then, come when they feel like coming or their other supplies aren't working out. This is how they juggle supply, is that, they make excuses to the other backup supplies and they see their main supply, or when they're done with their main supply and they want something else, they'll make excuses to the main supply and they jump to the other supply, okay? So they're erratic. A covert narcissist is erratic. One thing that you'll notice when you're dealing with a covert narcissist is that you just can't depend on them. These people do not have your back. Even though they tell you everything under the sun, oh, I got your back. Oh, I'll never leave you. Oh, I'll love you unconditionally. When the going gets tough, the covert narcissist gets going. And this is a fact, you guys. I've seen this in family. I've seen this in relationship. When you're going through something, the last person you ever want, in your corner is a covert narcissist, because they won't be there for you. If it's not going to benefit them, they're going to make excuses and bail on you, all right? The other thing you need to know about the covert narcissist is they are backstabbers. They are the epitome of smile to your face and stab you in your back, okay? They don't show their hand. They're the kind of people that, you keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Well, that's your covert narcissist. A lot of times they're not going to tell you they're mad at you. They're not going to. They're going to try to show that they're not angry at you because they're going to get you back behind your back by smearing you to other people. This is how they fight. This is one of the ways they fight. The other way they fight is by the silent treatment. It's a form of emotional abuse. So when you say something that covert narcissist doesn't want to hear, they're going to run silent on you and make you suffer. This is what they do. So they're doing it for two reasons. One is to punish you. Okay, how dare you bring up something to them or try to hold them accountable? And this will control you so that you're afraid to ever bring an issue up to them because you're afraid they're going to go stone silent. You've got to be one of these people that, you know what? You want to go silent? Go the fuck silent. I don't care. I'm not going to sit here and be afraid to open up and tell you a concern that I have that you're going to run silent, because when you live with somebody like this, you guys, they're going to control you to the point where you're going to be afraid to open up your mouth. You're going to be walking on eggshells because you're afraid, oh my goodness, the covert narcissist is going to go silent and not talk to me for days or weeks or months, all right? So the thing is this, the problem with that is you're not able to express your feelings. Your feelings will be held inside. It's going to cause you unhappiness. It's going to cause you grief. It's going to cause you stress, and it's going to affect your physical health. This is how these people slowly kill you, all right? Because they don't acknowledge you when you're speaking the truth. They don't validate you, and they try to punish you for saying something that they don't want to hear, okay? So they love the silent treatment. Again, what are we talking about? Passive-aggressive behavior. When you're dealing with a covert narcissist, they can never just sit down, have a conversation, be transparent about it, or, acknowledge the truth. They can't do it because they don't want to face shame. So rather than deal with that, what do? They run silent on you, or they cut you off in the middle of a sentence so you can't even finish your sentence, and they walk out like as if to say, well, I'm not even going to listen to you. And then the next thing they do is say, you're crazy. What better way to dismiss you, try to make you out to be a mental case, and to not hear out the truth or take accountability than to call you crazy? Anybody that calls you crazy, you don't deal with that person at all, okay? That is mad disrespect. Go listen to my podcast on mad disrespect of the covert narcissist, all right? Your feelings are valid. If you're feeling a certain way, there's a reason you're feeling a certain way. And that's because that covert narcissist is not being upfront and transparent. They're probably playing mind games with you. They may be gaslighting you. They may be telling you, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember. They love to use the amnesia card. They just dodge the truth. This is what they do. They just dodge the truth, and then they give you a word salad and start talking about something else to deflect. They're big deflectors. Why? So that they don't have to sit down and take accountability, all right? This is how they fight. They fight you with the silent treatment. I always tell people, when you get involved with somebody and you want to know what this person is about, see how they fight. Is this person able to sit down at the table and talk to you straight? Or are they somebody who are going to gaslight you, not acknowledge what you're saying, be dismissive, roll their eyes, turn their face, not address something that you text them? Educators do this all the time, and people in corporations, they do this all the time. They're dismissive because they don't want you ever to say anything about their organization, so they will never address any kind of concerns. Whenever you bring up a concern to them, maybe something's not right in the company or in a school or, in an organization, the minute that you say anything that tarnishes their reputation, even though they're in the wrong, they will dismiss you. And a lot of times they want to throw you out, okay? They may want to fire you. They may want to throw you out of a school because they don't want any kind of negative, it's kind of like the toxic family. When you talk against the toxic family, what are they going to do? They're going to scapegoat you. They're going to alienate you. They're going to isolate you. And they're going to make you out to be the crazy one. Same thing when you're dealing in the work field, okay, with organizations and especially powerful big corporations. Big corporations run this country today, all right? And they're very, very powerful. And if you go against them or you say something to rustle their feathers, they will set you up so easily. I had a client dealing with this, all right, where she was set up and she was dealing with an organization that was siding with another employee against her, all right? And she was basically blackballed because, she was set up by them. And I told her, I said, first thing you're going to do is get a good lawyer. That's number one. Number two, you better make sure that they offer you a hearing, all right? So there were a couple of things that she needed to go through, but I'm kind of getting off tangent. But what I'm trying to say, you guys, is when you're dealing with a covert narcissistic person or a covert narcissistic organization, tons of covert narcissists are in corporations, all right? They're the kinds that play the it's like politics, all right? Smile to your face, stab you in the back. It's like the politician that tells you everything you want to hear to get elected, and then once they're elected, they do what they want, okay? That's your covert narcissist, all right? They're not transparent. They tell you what you want to hear, and then they do what they want, or they blackball you, or, they smear you, or they ruin your reputation if you challenge them, all right? So they don't want to be challenged. And if you challenge them, they will either blackball you by using other people against you, or they will, if it's in a relationship situation, they will they'll give you the silent treatment, okay? They love to give the silent treatment, then they'll triangulate with other people. They'll have other people gang up against you, not like you. This is how underhanded they are. They are demons, okay? There is no empathy in them. There's no spirit of kindness or understanding. They are evil to the core, and they don't walk in the truth. So if they don't walk in the truth, they are definitely demons, you guys, all right? So be aware of that. They are guarded. They have their wall up. They ghost you when you need them. They are extremely, extremely jealous and envious people. And why is this? It's due to their deep-rooted insecurities stemming from their childhood development, okay? They never felt like they were enough. They felt like they were cheated in this world. Even though they don't tell you that, subconsciously, they feel entitled to more, okay? And when they see somebody who's doing better than them, that kills the covert narcissist. They either don't want to be around these people because they can't fucking stand to see people do better than them. They're not happy for people that are doing better. They may put on a false face. Like if you say to them, oh, I got a promotion at my job. The what's that covert narcissist going to do? They're either going to not say anything because they can't stand it and they don't want to give you a compliment, or they're going to give you a phony compliment and say, oh, that's great. And then they'll they'll either change the conversation, or they'll try to top that and they'll say, well, I did this, okay? So it's always, who could top that? Because they can't ever stand to see people do better than them, all right? They're not happy for people that do better than them. So, you want to get under a covert narcissist skin? Just smile. It irritates the shit out of them. They hate to see happy people. I'm telling you, when you know you're dealing with a covert narcissist, if you show them that you're happy or you're smiling, it's going to destroy them underneath. It's going to destroy them. They hate to see happy people because they're so miserable. They're the kind misery loves company, all right? So that's another thing I want to bring up. Never, ever let them know that you're not doing well, okay? Because they thrive on that. And that's why a lot of them, too, will hit you up and give you a call and say, oh, just calling to see how you doing, blah, 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 blah. It's not that they want anything from you or they want to be, your best friend or they want to be with you. It's because they're nosy. So that brings me to my next point. Covert narcissists are extremely nosy people that want to know what's going on in your life. Why? So they can compare it to their lives and feel better if they're doing better than you. They want to see that you're not doing well. This is why a lot of them, they troll social media. They watch you from a catfish profile because they want to see that you're not doing well. Because if you are doing well, it kills them, all right? They don't want to know that you moved on in your life and you're happy and maybe you have a new partner. They want to see that you're putting up sad memes up on Facebook or social media, about like, oh, when somebody really loves somebody or there's no real men or no real. They want to see those emotional memes up because then they know they affected you. Now they know that that you're still hurting. So never, ever let them know what you're thinking or feeling or how you're doing, okay? Because number one, it's none of their business. And number two, you don't want to give them satisfaction because they thrive on your misery. Believe me when I tell you you guys, because I have seen it time and time again, all right? Now, I'm going to move along here on the list because I made this huge, massive list, and I'm breaking it up into these 3 or 4 podcasts, all right? So I just talked about how they're extremely jealous and they're envious, all right? Now, the hot and cold behavior of the covert narcissist. We all know that a covert narcissist runs hot and cold. Why do they do that? One, they want to confuse you. It's all part of the game. Understand this. When a covert narcissist is distant with you or they're cold to you, they're hot with somebody else. When a covert narcissist is warm to you, they're cold with somebody else. So whoever they're hot on their trail, they're going to be warm to that person. And whoever they don't need or don't need to be bothered with, they're going to be cold because you're of no use to them or no use to them at that time. Now, when you start to pull away from the covert narcissist, if they need you, they will be, coming back, being really, really warm. That's what this is what confuses people because they say, oh my goodness, sometimes they're so cold and unaffectionate and they don't even, it seems like they couldn't care less whether they see me. And then the next time they see me, they're so lovey-dovey. Well, maybe they're lovey-dovey because they see that you're pulling away. Or maybe they're lovey-dovey because their other supply is not working out. So now they're focusing back in on you to draw you back in, okay? See, that's not a normal, healthy person. A normal, healthy person doesn't run hot and cold all the time, all right? They're consistent. Most of the time, they're consistent. Granted, people can have a bad day, all right? A bad day at work or whatever. We all take other factors into consideration. But with a covert narcissist, they run hot and cold because it all depends on if they need you. If they need you, all right, they're going to run hot and they're going to be warm and they're going to try to give you that fake affection. If they don't need you, they're going to run cold because they're getting it somewhere else. The other reason they run cold, you guys, is because they're trying to control you or they're trying to punish you. So the way they try to hurt you is by being cold and distant. In other words, you may try to talk to them and they sit there like a fucking stone and they just stare at you. That's their way of being dismissive, all right? Understand, this is their trump card, is to be dismissive and make you feel unsure of yourself and for you to doubt yourself. They're horrible fucking people, all right? Instead of telling you what's on their mind and communicating and telling you, I'm angry at you for doing this or I'm angry at... No, they don't do that. They don't come to you and tell you why they're really angry. No, instead they're dismissive or they give you the silent treatment or they smear you behind your back. That's the, creepy type of character that the covert narcissist has because God forbid they open up and be vulnerable. That's not them, all right? And for the longest time, I was dealing with this where I was sitting there, I was talking my face off, trying to connect with my partner, trying to connect with his soul so that we could be on the same page, just, trying to be understanding from his point of view, my point of view. And he sat there like a fucking stone and looked at me like I was talking Chinese, okay? And it was passive aggressive, dismissive behavior. And for the longest time, I didn't realize what was going on. I said to myself, maybe he doesn't understand where I'm coming from, this and that. There's a communication problem. Well, let me just tell you guys right now, all right? Because I'm going to tell you, because I have been through it. I am an OG when it comes to these covert narcissists. If you're having a communication problem with somebody, and you're being very, very clear and transparent, and you're stating everything factual to them, and it's making sense, it's common sense, and they are not, acknowledging what you're saying, it's not you. It's that person doesn't want to give you that credibility. They don't want to validate you. They don't want to make you right, because by making you right means that they have to take accountability and face shame, and they won't do it. So when you're having a communication problem with someone and you're being very direct with them and you're speaking truthful facts with somebody and you're still having a communication with the problem, then guess what? You're dealing with a fucking toxic person that won't own the truth, won't own the facts. Recognize it, all right? Recognize it, because a lot of people are in toxic relationships where they're sitting there struggling, trying to talk to their partner, and they're not getting anywhere. See, you will never get anywhere with a covert narcissist because they don't want to acknowledge you. Even when you're talking the truth, they don't want to acknowledge you. They want to dismiss you. They want you to feel like there's something wrong with you. You have mental issues. And it's not that you have mental issues. It's that you're dealing with a fucking toxic person that won't own when they're wrong, okay? Or won't meet you in the middle. These people don't even meet you in the middle, okay? Because of that fragile, insecure, cowardly ego that cannot give in, all right? They won't give in because they're afraid to give you any kind of power because of their deep-rooted insecurity. They're horrible, they're insecure, and, they feel threatened by people that are truth tellers. You are a threat, okay? This is why they try to blackball you. This is why they try to throw you out in families or throw you out in corporations when you try to expose them, all right? Because you are a threat to their game. That's what it is. All right, I went off on a tangent this morning. Woo! I wasn't even expecting to go all into that, but I'm just giving you guys a little background on, just how horrible and toxic these people are, all right? These people, they block out shame and they don't take accountability. And I've actually dealt with a lot of covert narcissists, and they've actually told me they block out things in their mind. This is how they don't deal with things. They block it out. And they've told me, when it's something very touchy to them or something that causes them pain or any kind of shame, they try not to think about it. They block it out. So, but the thing is, you guys, here's the big confusion. So many people and so many influencers I hear out there, they go and they say, oh, they are delusional. They believe their lies. No, they're not fucking delusional. They know what a lie is, but they're playing dumb, okay? They're playing dumb. You'll see it by their little smirk afterwards, after you pop off, okay? That's that reactive abuse. Then you walk away, maybe you're yelling and screaming or you're crying and you walk away. You look at that covert narcissist face, they're smiling, all right? They're smirking because they knew they got you. Okay, this is why I tell you, you got to stay in control with these animals. You got to stay in control, all right? Because this is their game. Their game is an emotional reaction to get you to set off, all right? So you got to remember the beast that you're dealing with here, all right? You're dealing with somebody who's taunting you. You're dealing with somebody who's trying to trigger you. You're dealing with someone who's playing it cool. you're dealing with somebody who's a cool cat that is going to try to make you look bad by you losing control. That's why you stay in control. You stick to the facts. When you're not getting anywhere, you disengage and you don't deal with them, okay? You don't go back and forth, and you I know it's really hard. I know it's really hard because sometimes you just want to go, all right? These people are so, frustrating to the point of you just want to let them have it, but don't give them that kind of power or that satisfaction that they got to you. They're not worth it. They're not worth it. Once you realize you're dealing with toxic, you just say, you know what? I'm never going to get through to this person. Let me disengage here, okay? So, you guys, let me move along on my list. I have so much other stuff. I'm going to do another podcast where I get into other issues, all right? So, again, they love to play dumb. They love the amnesia card. I don't know what you're talking about. Or, I don't remember what I did yesterday. Or they love to say, there's always a problem with you, okay? Again, they're trying to make it out like you have mental issues. They love the mental card. There's always a problem with you. No, there's not a problem with me. The problem is the fact that you can't own the truth. That's the problem, okay? So also, getting back to that delusional business where, I see so many influencers like, oh, they're delusional. Oh, they're delusional. Oh, they're delusional. They're delusional to a point. They justify their toxic behavior and they're lying. Like they'll say something like, well, I had to cheat on you. You fight with me all the time. Or I cheated on you because you don't make time for me. You're always working or something like that. But they know that they're wrong. They're aware of what's right and wrong. And how do you know that? By the way they treat other people. They don't treat everybody the same. They know who they can push and who they can't, all right? That's how you know. Watch these people around other people and you'll see it, all right? That's a great way of knowing whether you're dealing with one of these cats, all right? All right. The other thing on my list is, again, they love to trigger you with the reactive abuse by staying in control and getting you emotionally angry or upset. Now, another thing, you guys, here's the thing that I have to tell you. There's two things I got to tell you before I cap off on this. Number one, never be transparent with a non-transparent person. I had to learn this the hard way, the school of hard knocks, all right? So I'm telling you from life's experience, don't try to be transparent with a non-transparent person because you're not going to get anywhere with them and they're going to take everything that you say and use it against you. Know your target, know who the fuck you're dealing with, and when you see that you're dealing with a shady cat like that, you got to hold back and don't tell them jack shit, all right? Don't tell them anything if you see that they're holding back. Trust me when I tell you, I'm trying to protect you, all right? And then there was another point. I just had this other point with regard to, how to handle these people. See, the thing with the covert narcissist is that, everything with them is a mind game, all right? Everything with them is a mind game. And when you're in it, you don't see it, okay? Because you think that these people think like you, and they don't. They operate completely differently. They're underhanded. They're manipulative. They've got criminal minds. And they pretend to be something that they're not. And they put on an Academy Award acting performance to fool you into thinking they are this wonderful person, or they fool other people into thinking they are this wonderful person. But what they are is the devil in disguise, all right? The devil doesn't come as your enemy. The devil comes as your friend. I want you to remember that and let that sink in, okay? The people that hurt you the most are the people that are closest to you. So a lot of these covert narcissists, their goal is to get close to you. Again, it's like the sheep a wolf in sheep's clothing. They try to get close to you. They try to earn your trust. But you're dealing with somebody with malintent that doesn't care and doesn't have heart and doesn't have understanding and doesn't have empathy for you. So you have to deal with these people, if you deal with them at all, with kid gloves, because they will sting you, all right? They will sting you like a bee, okay? So you guys, that's it for today's podcast. I'm glad I was able to get this in today before I get, interrupted, because this is a high traffic house and somebody's always interrupting here, okay? So you guys, I'm going to do one more podcast on everything you need to know about the covert narcissist. We'll get in a little bit about co-parenting, the covert narcissist in the bedroom and all of that, or covert narcissistic, dealing with, maybe a covert narcissistic child or something. All right. So I hope that helps you to understand, just how, harmful these people are. And they are harmful. They hurt people's, they get people to a point, some people to a point of suicide, because people are losing their minds because they just can't figure them out. And that's their whole game, is to confuse you. All right. But once you figure out and understand about covert narcissism, these people are dead in the water. Okay. Once you figure out their game, it's a wrap. All right. Their game is over, and they're finished. All right. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. If you did, hit the subscribe button, you guys. Share the podcast. Don't forget, go follow me, subscribe to my YouTube, because I put everything on YouTube. All my information is on YouTube at the Game Exposed Podcast on YouTube. My Instagram is the Game EXP123, and it's the same on Facebook, the Game EXP123 on Facebook. Any other pages, I have one backup page, the Game EXP 707 on Facebook, but any other pages are fake pages. So be careful of any pages that you follow for the Game Exposed to make sure that it's the official page. Otherwise, you may not be following me. You may be following a fake page, you guys. I just want to make you aware of that, all right? So have a great day, you guys. If you guys are having a problem in your dating or relationship, or you're dealing with somebody maybe that's narcissistic, you don't know if they're a narcissist, or you're just having problems, you're in a toxic relationship and you need some clarity on it, go to the link in the podcast description for my website, where I offer email and phone coaching. If you have a quick question, just a quick question, and you want to get a video sent back to you answering your question, there's also a link there for Vizio, where I will send you a personalized video answering your question. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and I want to tell you about my 2 books on Amazon. The first book is Regain Your Power. It's all about power and relationship. Who has the power in the relationship? And it goes into all of that, okay? The other book is Signs He's Not Into You, He's Wasting Your Time, okay? Check it out. It gives you a lot of good clues as to whether you're with somebody who's a real one or somebody who's just going to waste your time. You could read them both with Kindle's free trial membership. So check it out. Link is in the podcast description. Hi, you guys. I just want to let you know that the Game Exposed now has their merchandise available. Check out the link in the bio, and you could go check it out. There's cool hoodies, cool sweatpants, cool hats. So go to the bio for the link. And also, don't forget to follow me on Facebook at the Game EXP123, and also on Instagram, the Game EXP123. Okay? And have a great day.